Sign here, says the guard, handing you a pen and paper. You sign your name. A fine name. After you've signed, the guard motions to the strange creature beside you. The monster, too. You sign your companion's name as well. Mar. Mar, your friend and sometimes traveling companion. Though he can't speak the human tongue, he seems to understand it well enough. Thank you. Now we'll know what to have engraved on your tombstones. Can't ask the dead what name to mark their grave with, after all, the guard chortles. You want the reward as badly as you don't want to die. You figure you better make some strong friends. You've yet to find any help for your quest. Things don't look that reassuring as they are, but the decision is up to you. In the end, you set out, just the two of you, to hunt the dragon. Before you stands a sign calling for people to join the hunt for the dragon. Earlier, you saw the bit about the handsome reward for whoever slays the dragon and hightailed it to the castle. A woman stares at the sign, transfixed. Her face curls into a scowl as she notices you. Monster! The woman cries and flings magic at Mar. Startled by the spell, Mar grows dizzy. You whirl to the woman and shout, "What are you doing?" This ain't a monster, you growl, as the woman snarls over you, "I hate monsters." The two of you bicker for quite a while. In the end, the woman admits she may have jumped to conclusions, but stubbornly refuses to apologize. Inwardly, you call her unsavory names as your attention shifts to a different topic of conversation. Turns out she really hates the dragon and would love to take him, but she knows she's no match for him alone, so she's at a loss for what to do. When you tell her you're after the same thing, she squints down her nose at you. "Fine," she says, "I can help you." No way are you teaming up with someone who attacked you out of the blue. But as you open your mouth to tell her off, "I only want to see the dragon dead. I don't care about anything else," she mutters. You overhear her remarks and grin without thinking. Then you don't care about getting a share of the reward. You couldn't have asked for a better companion. Your opinion of her improved. You happily joined forces with the black-clad woman. A woman sits hunched over by the side of the road. Upon catching sight of you, she calls out for your aid. She's sprained her ankle and needs you to take her to the nearby apothecary. You try to lift the woman into your arms, but the weight's too much for you to bear. You lay the woman back down where you found her and mutter a quiet farewell before turning to leave. Upon seeing that, Melanie snaps. What kind of person are you? Ain't like it's my fault she's hurt, you whine like a child. Ignoring you, Melanie gingerly helps the woman up. Mar bends so the woman can get on his back, and the two of them head off in search of the apothecary. You watch them walk away for a moment before following, complaining to yourself about what a waste of time this is. You arrive at the apothecary. After taking a curative, the woman begins hopping up and down. Nothing holds a candle to Ivory Order medicine, she beams. She thanks you and pulls something from her breast pocket. You've helped someone, albeit not quite out of the goodness of your own heart. It might be a good idea to do that again, should you come across anyone else in need of assistance. The girl says if you follow this road northwest for a bit, you'll come to Thryston. As your eyes roam everywhere but the path you walk, you barrel right into someone. When you turn to see who it is, you see the Ivory Order trio from the castle. Winifred, are you all right? The sagely old man asks the woman, voice full of concern. I'm fine, the woman called Winifred replies. Thank you, Hedwyn. Berwyn, the old man calls, turning to their stoic companion. He jerks forward, as if to defend Hedwyn and Winifred. The trio advances on you. How dare you treat disciples of the Ivory Order with such disrespect? They're the ones who ran into you, so if anything, they should be apologizing. We were standing still, says Hedwyn, his calm tone belying the anger on his face. Muttering a half-hearted apology, you try to keep walking. But that's when you notice something in your hand. Looks like you accidentally grabbed Winifred's coin purse when you ran into her. Thief, bellows Berwin, drawing his weapon. Guess you've got to fight your way past. Excellent. You did great. As if forced by your magnificent presence itself, the Ivory Order disciples stagger a step back. It would seem you have the guts to take on the dragon, if nothing else, says Hedwyn. You mock the Ivory Order disciples for being sore losers. A scandalized look on his face. Berwin reveals the truth. We'd never actually bother fighting punks like you with our full strength. Now give that back, says Winifred, snatching the wallet out of your grip. We mustn't tarry any longer. To the monster researcher of Thriston with us, Hedwyn urges his companions, and the trio depart. Apparently, a monster researcher lives in Thriston and might know something about the dragon. On your way to defeat the dragon, are you? The innkeeper inquires as you set foot inside. The innkeeper gives you a room free of charge in a show of support for any and all who wish to defeat the dragon. The party leaves the inn feeling rested. Aimless wandering can be fun, but if you want purpose and direction, I'd suggest sticking to the path. grass, you find an old telescope. You figure a look at the path ahead can't hurt, and pick it up. All you know is there's something up ahead. You should be able to, figuring it's best not to go looking for trouble. You decide to detour around it. Still, you can't help wondering what that thing was. You kick a rock down the road, muttering about what jerks those three from the Ivory Order are. Cut it out, chides Melanie. She warns you your anger will only come back to bite you in the rear. You grumble, but your sulking is cut. The rock you kicked must have hit it, because it is really mad. Brace yourself for battle. Let's do this. Cyprian Cyprian Amber has lived here for many years, conducting research on monsters. All the townsfolk affectionately call him Cypri. If anyone knows anything about the dragon, it's him. He's a veritable monster expert. You ask Cypri if he knows anything about the dragon. He says he'll tell you if you do him a favor. The monsters stole a precious treasure from him. If you reclaim the treasure, Cypri promises to tell you all he knows about the dragon. It seems the treasure-thieving monster makes its hideout in the Western Cave. That's where you'll want to head. Pick up a scrap of paper dropped by some manner of monster. It has a message scrawled on it in crude lettering. Clearly, whoever dropped this message did not want to forget where the stolen treasure is hidden. You stash the scrap of paper in your pack and resolve to keep an eye out for the treasure on your travels. Come across two men sitting on a rock. They take no notice of you or the party, but you can hear their fervent discussion. You listen in and deduce that they are a pair. You lean in, trying to hear what else the thieves are talking about. You catch pieces of the conversation here and there. I hid the goods. It sounds like that you hastily grab a scrap of paper, write down what you've heard, and quietly sneak away. You are surprised to find a merchant selling goods in a place like this. You decide to take a look, and the merchant welcomes you energetically. These are my unsold wares. I would be happy to sell to you for a fraction of the price, the old woman says as she lines up some medicine bottles before you. I'm closing for the day, she announces as she packs up her goods. It seems you won't be able to do any more shopping here. Light can't reach the furthest depths of the cave. It may be impossible to proceed without a torch. Taking no heed of any danger, you press on. The cave is dark and dangerous. Are you sure you want to keep going without a torch? Are you sure you want to keep going without a torch? Perhaps you should... if... In the darkness, you hear the skittering sounds of movement. You strain to see and make out the shape of a grotesque, otherworldly creature. Utter terror knocks you off your feet. You feel your consciousness slip away. When you come to, you find yourself outside the western cave. Seems like Melanie and Mar carried you here. If you're set on exploring the caves, might I suggest you invest in a torch? They've got them at the item store in town and everything. Isn't it dangerous to go without a torch? You don't have a torch, but you can always buy one at the item shop in Thriston. You make your exit. How may I help you? The proprietress inquires. Will that be all? The proprietress asks. Light the torch. It'll be much easier to explore now with your surroundings better illuminated. Though the torch lights your immediate surroundings, you still cannot peer far into the distance. Upon closer examination of the door, you spot a cavity. You put the magic sphere into the cavity, and the door opens. Claret trail leads you deeper into the cave. A knot forms in your gut. You raise the torch to get a better look at your surroundings. The walls have been gouged and scarred as far as you can see. Another message comes into view, written in tiny letters among the scars. I will find you. What horrors transpired here? You make to open the chest, but an ominous voice echoes around you. I will not relinquish my hoard. The next instant, something leaps at you out from the darkness. Don't hold back. Monster defeated, you turn toward the treasure chest. And see those Ivory Order jerks rooting through it. You rush over, but you're too late to stop them. Sweet of you to take care of the monsters for us, trills Winifred, favoring you with a smile. Tucking the spoils from the chest safely into a bag, the Ivory Order trio stroll away whence they came. Knowing you couldn't stop them if you tried, you can do nothing but stand slack-jawed and watch them go. The chest is empty, save for a ragged doll. Nice of them to leave us the trash, you grumble in irritation. For some reason, Melanie picks up the ragged doll. Your shoulders slump. All that effort, and this is all you get to show for it? You find nothing else even close to treasure. Hope Cypri is ready for bad news. Leave now would be the fastest way out. You left the western cave. Were you able to find my treasure? Cypri asks. This is all we found, says Melanie, withdrawing the ragged doll. Cypri's eyes widen as soon as he sees the doll, and he reaches out to take it. Without breaking his gaze away from the doll, he begins to speak. Cypri tells you he gifted this doll to his young daughter a long time ago. But she fell gravely ill and died. Since then, Cypri has treasured this doll as he treasured his daughter. Then the monsters took it from him. Cypri turns to Melanie, his head bowed deeply in gratitude. So you reclaimed the treasure by complete accident. You step closer to Cypri. What do you know about the dragon? You rudely inquire. Cypri gestures as if to say, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Far to the east of town is a place called Unionville, where monsters and humans live together in harmony. According to Cypri, you might be able to learn something there, as the dragon and monsters are not totally unrelated. Upon hearing that, you turn on your heel to leave. Cypri calls out to stop you. Journeying to Unionville entails traversing the dense expanse of the bewildering wood. You'll need this, he says, and holds out something for you. You won't make it through the bewildering wood without it, Cypri says. Your sights set on the distant Unionville, you resolve to navigate through the bewildering wood.